Hello, everybody, and welcome back to BrokeN Boys. This is episode 235. I'm Mike.
I'm Colin, and I just want to be the first to announce it. We had something very special happen this week. One of us got down on one knee, and your composition teacher and college dropout podcast hosts are getting married.
We sure are.
Yeah, we're engaged.
Yeah.
And we're no longer gonna be the broken boys. We're the broken husbands. So
broken hubbies.
Broken hubbies. Yeah, that probably is probably better. But I just wanted to announce that. And just really happy this week. So
yeah, I mean, for those who haven't been tuning in, I mean, all you gotta do is look at the last 3 episode titles for us, and you can just see the lead up to this happening.
Yeah,
we were very inspired at Vince's wedding, so we decided we need to one up that, because he can't have that much glory. So
yeah, Mike was actually gonna propose at Vince's wedding, but for fear of his life, he chose not to.
Yeah, I had the ring ready, right as Vince's wife was walking down the aisle. I was totally ready to just turn and walk right past John. But Colin said, maybe that's a bad idea, and I'm like, yeah. So yeah.
But, yeah, just congratulations to us. The ring is huge, so
it's a cock ring.
Yep.
Diamond plated. I'm not cheap.
Of course,
but
diamond encrusted, diamond plated, bedazzled all hell.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you what. But congratulate us in the comments. The registry is also in the description below if you want to send us money or money. Or money.
Yeah.
But
our registry is just the Patreon.
But but this week we're going to be going through the discography of Quadeca for our artist analysis series, so stay tuned for that. But before we do that, how was your week, Mike?
Week was fine. I honestly do not have much to talk about. I realized last night that I wrote like nothing down. But it's just been I'm still home alone, and I still will be home alone, so no one still kill me when this episode comes out. But just been taking care of the cat, taking care of the plants. It's pretty much it. There's been a lot of like weird dumb drama going on with like the like Discord with my friend. I should just say in general with my neighbors. It's just like that was a weird headache, but I really don't want to get into that because it's stupid as fuck.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. But part of that drama that was a little less stupid, I guess, but just more misunderstanding stuff. But just to say, we got I think we have plans pretty much finalized for going to that second 21 Pilots show in Hershey Park. I think last time we did an episode we were a little up in the air, like pretty confident but not like 100%, but I think at this point it's like 100% a thing that's happening. So.
I think we pretty much last episode, throughout the episode, we're like, we're going to go.
Well, yeah, because it was literally right after the episode that I sent the message like, hey, we're interested. But so we not finalized, but we got most of those plans down. Had a good talk and stuff. And the drama wasn't with the trip itself, to be cleared, I guess. But I mean, I don't know. Anyone who's listening to that doesn't really care. But yes, looking forward to doing that. But other than that, I mean, work was fine this week. I know I talked last week about uh potentially not coming back. And you know what?
Yeah.
I still got that feeling. Um, but I have a 4-day weekend now. Because they
Labor Day.
I know. They sent a text just a second ago saying that the shift is canceled for today. And then, Labor Day on Monday. Which happy Labor Day to podcast watchers. To
Yes.
all you
Yeah.
Quadeca fans, happy Labor Day. Get a
I
job.
will be working. So
Yeah,
labor.
yeah, yeah. I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of Quadeca fans who should get a job. Is
Yeah. Or some grass too.
Yeah,
Even
yeah, yeah. But
insult for
yes.
the people who might be listening to this pod before we even get to Quadeca.
Yeah, it's a retention strategy, and
Yeah, yeah,
so that they
yeah.
leave comments.
They're gonna hate my opinions, hon. I didn't mean to haunt you. I don't know
Oh
what
yeah.
to
Colin went back to being a hater in this episode.
yeah.
He's like, you know what? It is over it.
On third listen, I hate it.
But anyways, yeah, 4-day weekend. The week itself was whatever. The only thing I really wrote down was something that happened last night. Because there's an old guy I work next to who's like annoying as hell, and maybe one of the most racist people I've met. But like in terms of like not outwardly, but like also outwardly, if you see the signs. Uh, Whatever. I don't like that guy, and I've mentioned it a lot of times. I don't like that guy, but last night he said something almost like I just got like I got like a real life example of a broken clock is right twice a day. Because like also very misogynistic, this guy. But like at one point
Surprise, surprise.
I know it's crazy, you wouldn't believe it. But at one point he was talking about like he like had mentioned that his wife had cancer or something like 2 years ago or something, which I didn't know about. And then
Mm.
said like, oh yeah, they removed her like her kidneys and like her uterus and stuff. He's like, oh man, I saw that fucker. That thing was it looked gross or whatever. And I was like, okay, yeah, what? I mean, that's whatever. But at some
Organ.
point, yeah, because he mentioned like uterus or whatever. He mentioned he was like, yeah, man, women, they got the short end of the stick. They got it way harder than guys do. And like when he said that, I was like, damn.
What?
I know.
What the?
When well, I mean, he was like talking about like periods and stuff like that or whatever.
Yeah.
But like he said that, I was like, I didn't say this out loud, but I thought it was something like that's like the first like base thing I think I've ever heard him say. Something that like,
Whoa, buddy, too woke for me.
yeah, yeah, I should have said something like that. But I was like, damn, that's kind of crazy. And then immediately afterwards, he was talking about like, oh yeah, but she's still not ready to fuck after like 2 years. I'm like, fucking bitch. And I'm like, all right, well,
all right.
there,
That's why I cheat on her. Am I right?
I mean, I have no idea if he does, but the way he like talks about other women like at work and shit, it's like Jesus fucking Christ. This guy also talks a lot because he won that TV a few weeks ago.
Right.
And he mentions all the time because apparently he has his little gaming room, and then he has like a living room or whatever. He's like, yeah, the TV would only fit in the living room, but I don't go in the living room. That's for the wife and the kids and the dog. I don't hang out in there. And I'm like, I keep thinking to myself like, what the, like, I don't know. That's just
Classic man. I hate my wife and kids.
literally, yeah, and dog apparently too.
And dog, yeah. Man's best friend? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm so glad that I don't live in that kind of family where
Yeah.
my dad just hates everyone and objectifies my mother. But
Hell yeah, brother.
yeah.
Woo!
But that was really the only like notable thing that happened this week. It was just same old, same
Mm,
old. And I think I'm really going to hone in on finding a new place of employment over this 4 day
mm,
weekend after I take a nap after this episode because we're recording a little bit earlier for something Colin might talk about. But yeah. Oh, I listened to a couple things. I can talk about that.
mm.
I listened to. I don't think I listened to the Kid Cudi album last time. Um, so also I just realized we should. I mean, if you're cool with it, we should do a monthly roundup too. Um,
Maybe we could do that next week.
yeah, we can totally do that next week. Um, but I listened to uh Kid Cudi Free, and not really anything too notable. I mean, it was fine. Not my least favorite Kid Cudi record, that's for sure. But he kind of goes into like alt rock type stuff on there, and he's done that on some of his albums for like one-off songs, and this time it's just like kind of the full record. And there's like one really bad song on it. I think it's like the second song. But then like everything else is like, yeah, it's cool. But not for me. Kid Cudi is never really for me. We got an artist analysis on him too. Um, then the most reviewed thing of the week was Private Music by Deftones. So I listened to that, and that was my first time like listening to a Deftones record, I would say.
Mhm.
And I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. I'm not sure if it's one that I'm going to personally be returning to at this moment. But if I ever like do a deeper dive into Deftones, I may give this record another listen and enjoy it a lot more, if that makes sense. Like I can kind of tell that
Yeah.
like I think I don't know. Once Deftones clicks for me, I think I'm gonna like the record even more. But I did enjoy it like quite a bit. I thought the riffs were pretty good. It had a good energy to it. More mathy than I thought it was going to be. A lot of cool
Mhm.
odd time signature shit. I'm like, you know, I'm a fucking nerd. So yeah. Um,
Yeah.
and then the last new thing I listened to was Voice Notes by Quadeca. But I will talk about that. Um, but yeah, that's it for me. So how was your week, buddy?
Oh, week was all right. Last Friday, went to go see Weapons with our friends Ricky and his girlfriend Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really good. All the hype around it was pretty justified in my opinion. It
Nice.
got a little silly at points, was like, which kind of surprised me, but I was all for it. Like, it was pretty straight up horror the entire time, and then at the end there were some like slapstick kind of silly moments, and I was like, that's hilarious, and I
Mm.
love that they added that. But the acting was great. A fun fact about that movie is that like most of the original cast that was supposed to be in the movie dropped out because of conflicts in their schedule.
Oh.
So like Pedro Pascal was supposed to be in it,
Mm.
um, and then Josh Brolin took over his role, and I honestly think it was for the better. While I love Pedro and like that kind of vengeful dad role, Josh Brolin did a great job. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the I think the only guy that stuck out was this guy who played a junkie, um, and he was in Euphoria for a couple of seasons,
Yeah.
and he did a great job. But good movie. The guy who played Han Solo in the Solo movie was also in it. He's also been in all the Nine Rank. He's also been in um, in Oppenheimer, and he
He
was
was
in
in
the Ironheart
Oppenheimer?
show as
I
well.
forgot about
Yeah, he
that.
was he was in like the black and white sections. Uh,
Oh.
yeah, but good movie. Recommend it.
Yeah.
Um, Played a lot of Fortnite. Lots of Fortnite this season. I'm enjoying the season quite a bit. Um, Especially since they added gorillas for
Mm.
Fortnite Festival, and usually the stages are like whatever, but honestly for the gorillas this is like the best stage they've done for festival like ever.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
I don't know if it's
so
my
fun to look
favorite,
at.
but I do
No.
like. I was saying I don't know if it's my favorite, but I do really like the aesthetic of it.
Mm.
It's probably up there for me.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I think it's really cool. But the I bought 2D and Noodle because I like those characters.
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
and they're
2D
cool
looks
looking.
sick as hell.
Yeah, he's
I
just cool.
I'm debating buying him too.
Yeah, honestly, like and the bundle is like 2,600 V-Bucks or something like that. So I was like,
Mm.
you know, $20 here, take my money.
Yeah.
And like, what does annoy me though is that like Metallica was a festival a year or more ago,
Mm.
and all 4 members were in the music pass for that
Yeah.
one. But only 2 are in the Gorillas one, which kind of is weird, but
Yeah, I agree.
just a way to get more money out of people.
Yeah.
Um, Work was fine this week. I was scheduled 6 days in a row though, from
Damn.
from Saturday to yesterday. I did call off yesterday because I wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
But Wednesday, oh boy, I don't know what was going on, but everybody was bitch in the drive-through.
Bitchy
Uh,
Wednesday, you know?
yeah, seriously, I don't know what like the customers were on something. Like everyone was upset and angry and just moody. And it's like, bitch, I'm here for 8 hours. I don't care that you're spending $6 on 2 McChickens. Like that's not my fault.
Yeah.
And there's this lady that comes through. We lovingly refer to her as Stinky Car Lady because her car
Oh
stinks.
yeah, you've
And
mentioned her before. It's a
yes,
recurring character.
yes, she comes through every day for a large unsweet tea with 4 equal, and
With four
her
what?
car stinks like shit. 4 equal, it's like a sugar
Oh,
substitute.
sugar. Okay.
Um, uh, but you know, her car stinks like shit, and I
Yeah.
think she shits herself. So,
Mm.
but she came through, and I was in the front on the headset, making drinks, bagging orders, helping out with everything. And you know, we don't have a lot of people during the day because everyone's in class or not there. So you know, I was doing fucking everything along with like the 2 other people that were up there, and I was taking a little while to get to her, and
Mm.
she's like, you know, if we don't get to her right away, she goes, "Can I order? Can I order?" And it's like,
Mm.
no, bitch, just wait till like you greet you. Um, and so I was like, what can I get for you? And I think she ordered like nuggets this time with her
Mm.
tea.
Wow.
And usually she just gets a tea, so you know, she's eaten.
Mm.
But after she's done with her order, she goes, "You people need to learn to move a lot faster."
Oh my god.
And I said, "You are more than welcome to go somewhere else."
Damn.
And she I don't think she heard me because she said that and then like was as she was driving away and like probably didn't hear me say it.
Yeah.
But when she got to the window, I almost fucking threw her food at her because I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like people. Love it.
Mm.
No bathroom brawls this week,
Yeah.
but
Were you
you
being
know.
goofy this week?
I mean, I was being goofy. I'm goofy every week, but I
Yeah.
wasn't called goofy by a little child
Okay.
this time. Uh, but I forgot to mention when I was talking about Fortnite, but I was playing with Ricky and Garrison earlier this week, and we got in a fight. They went down. I killed the last guy in that fight, and then you know I rezzed them both. They got up, and we were all healing and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ricky saw someone from behind us, and he was like, "So you hear something?" And as he said that, they shot one of the fucking swarm rocket launchers at us,
Uh-oh.
and like it just obliterated us all at the same time.
That's crazy.
It was the funniest fucking death I've ever had in Fortnite. It was so. I wish somebody was recording, but
Yeah.
it was really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a moment like that. I think it was last week at this point. But we were playing Peak, and
Mhm.
it was all my neighbors' first time in the Mesa, and uh, they didn't know about the tornadoes. So and I really wish I was recording because I was just kind of running through the desert a little bit, like kind of off to the side. I think I was like going for a luggage or something, and I just
Mhm.
hear the tornado spawn. And I just hear absolute carnage behind me. They're just like, and like 2 of them died like immediately.
Oh no.
Like one of them was barely clinging on to life, but like it was just absolute screaming in the proximity chat, and I wish I recorded that.
Yeah, I was playing alone the other day. Um, Well, I was listening to Quadeca because that's what I
Mm,
did this week is peak in Quadeca,
yeah,
and I
peek and peek, if
um
you ask me.
yeah, but I've gone through the mesa a couple times. I've ever been dragged by by one of the tornadoes or anything, or hit by a tumbleweed. But this time, I was walking through the middle, and all of a sudden, the tornado spawns right to my left, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh fuck!" It took me, and then I was like, "Okay." It dropped me. I didn't get hurt somehow, but
Hmm.
it dropped me, and then I started running again, and then all of a sudden, it I didn't realize that it came back and like back the way it came,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh." And so it took me again and threw me against the cactus. I
Yep.
was like, God
That's the
damn.
Mesa experience right there.
Yeah, but that was
Oh,
fun.
I think it was the same game where all my neighbors got like killed by a tornado. Because I think I started going solo because I was the last one alive.
Mm.
And I like was continuing my run down. One spawned on top of me, like just literally like underneath my feet, and killed me instantly. So that
Oh
was
my god,
awesome.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Um, and I rewatched Thunderbolts last night
Oh.
with Max because it's on Disney Plus now, and
Mm,
it's still great. Love that movie.
cool.
Um, and then I listened to a good few things. I listened to two Quadeca albums, which we'll talk about, and then
Mm-hmm.
I listened to Private Music by Deftones, which
Nice.
I also liked quite a bit. It was my third Deftones project that I've checked out, and they're 3 for 3 for me. I've enjoyed all the albums I've listened to pretty thoroughly.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, they just they're super consistent. I like their lyrical work and the riffs that uh, that they are able to create. It's cool that they are they've been around for like 30 years, but their music has stayed consistent, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. For me, listen to that album. I mean, it doesn't sound like a 30-year-old band, you know?
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then I listened to Sabrina Carpenter's new album, Man's Best Friend, last
Mm-hmm.
night, and it's okay. I'm pretty even on my opinions with this one and Short and Sweet,
Yeah.
though the singles and the hits off of Short and Sweet have really grown on me, and I like those a lot.
Yeah. Those have grown on me
Um,
too.
yeah, but Man's Best Friend, it's like it's kind of more of the same, except there's nothing on there other than like Man Child that feels like it'll be a real big hit.
Yeah.
Um, which is completely fine. Not every album of hers is gonna have a fucking espresso on it, but like
Mm.
uh, it was okay. She released a music video for the song Tears as well, which was all her music videos are like actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this one, she is in like she goes to like a abandoned house in the middle of nowhere, and she opens the door and it's Coleman Domingo, who's an actor who's
Mm-hmm.
really cool. And it's just like a big drag show.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, but it's really good music video. Album's all right. Some good stuff on there. I just kind of wish that she would do more ballads. There's one ballad on there, but I like her voice a lot, and I think that more ballads from her would be cool.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it was all right.
Cool.
And then after this, going to Chicago today to go see My Chemical Romance at Soldier Field.
Yeah.
A little nervous, but I'm excited.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, first concert alone, so it's in a very big place,
Mm-hmm.
so it's gonna while yours was like in a tiny dive bar, it's like
Yeah.
with a cat. I'm
Yeah.
like
With
going
a
into
cat.
a
Yeah.
fucking football stadium. It's like
Yeah.
whoa.
The biggest music.
um,
I mean, have you been to a stadium show before? I don't think I have.
no, I mean
Yeah.
the closest is the United Center, so
Right.
um,
I
but
think that's an arena though, technically, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, you making the drive back tonight too? Going all the way up and all the way back?
Probably, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
I've done it before. I can do it
Yeah.
again. Am I
I don't
right?
know.
Yeah.
Just be careful.
Oh,
But
I
yeah, no,
will.
that'll definitely be good. I'm excited to hear about that.
So we'll definitely talk about it next.
Yeah,
But
might slip your mind. You never know.
yes.
But
But yeah, that's basically my week. Just
yeah,
listening, playing, watching.
hell
Working.
yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Um, in some news, the only thing I only have one thing written down, and
Mhm.
that's that the world got some new DLC today for me, or not
Mhm.
today, this week. Costa Rica added the GeoGuessr.
Oh,
Woo! Uh, um, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's very similar to Panama, but
Panama. Yeah.
yeah, um, yeah, I like getting new countries in that game. That's all I gotta say. It's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, wait, I do have one more thing.
Mhm.
You know that Rainbolt guy, the guy,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
basically the GeoGuessr guy. He was like Google actually got in like touch with him, and like they like worked out a thing where he was in the Google car for a lot of, not a lot of, but like a good portion of the Costa Rica coverage. So he was just like
That's always
there.
cheating.
Yeah, yeah, he was. That's literally what he was saying in his video. He's like, I'm learning the metas and stuff before anyone else sees them. um, but yeah, no. So there's a lot of paths that he was like in the car for, and then I think there was like one. There's something called trekker coverage, which is basically just like a coverage that they take on like on foot. So like it's a big backpack you wear, and like it's like people go like for footpaths and stuff like that. And like there was one like waterfall area that he was wearing the trekker for. So there is coverage in the, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm assuming there is coverage or will be coverage where you could just see Rainbolt's blurred out head at some point. But that's pretty cool.
That's
But
cool.
that's all I got though for news.
Oh, I got a few.
Yeah.
First thing, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got engaged.
Yay.
Um, yeah, that's what everyone's been
Oh,
saying,
was
right?
that the bit? Okay.
Yes, yeah,
Gotcha.
because Taylor Swift said the most millennial thing possible of your English teacher and your gym teacher just got engaged.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
doesn't surprise me.
but congrats. I saw a lot of funny jokes of like, are we going to disregard the mental age gap between the two, or just a lot of things calling Travis Kelce a Trump supporter and everything. But
Yeah.
which I don't know if he is, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, yeah.
But and then Josh Dunn, he's got a YouTube channel now and he's doing drum covers.
Hell yeah.
He released a Master of Puppets by Metallica drum cover yesterday.
Mm.
Uh, Pretty cool though. I have a lot of fun watching people play the drums, and especially Josh Dunn.
Yeah.
Uh, that's a
And
hot man. But
for those who don't know, for our listeners, Josh Dunn is the drummer of 21 Pilots.
yes, yes,
But
the husband of Debbie Ryan.
exactly, yes. But yeah, no, I enjoyed watching that on my break too. And I said Colin that my nerdy ass. What I'm mentioning my nerdy ass and odd time signatures again, but that's one thing I've always wanted to like see from 21 Pilots is like them dive into something odd time signature related, and like Master of Puppets gets fucking weird at some points. Like it's wild to me how accessible that song is with like some of the shit that it's doing. So it was really cool seeing Josh drumming along to some of that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like Lars Ulrich, the drummer for Metallica, is like known to be a pretty shitty
Yeah.
drummer.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
know.
cool to see a good drummer play a song at
Yeah,
Metallica.
true. Well, no, I remember thinking that to myself for the first time when doing, because I'd like heard Master of Puppets like in Stranger Things, but when it came to festival and I was doing festival, um, well, I still do festival, but at that time when I was doing it and like playing the drum or like just playing any of the tracks, I was like,
Yeah.
this shit is weird. I didn't expect Lars to be able to play something so complicated even back then. But yeah, no, it's like genuinely a strange format in
Yeah,
parts. But yeah,
yeah,
Josh killed
that's
it.
cool. He did.
I'm subscribed.
Um, and then Almini announced his solo album coming out
Cool.
on September 24th called Forever Phase, which is
Okay.
cool.
No.
Balu Brigada, who opened up for 21 Pilots on the Clancy tour, released their album last night as well, which I haven't listened to, but that's cool.
Yeah.
And then also 21 Pilots related, they announced that at certain shows on the Reach tour, there's going in the lawn area. the concert's kind of gonna go extend to the lawn, and it's called the Bandito Camp now,
Mm.
which is it's at select shows. So it's in the one at Tinley Park, which we're going to first, but it's not the one in Hershey,
Mm-hmm.
which is weird to me, considering how big Hershey is, and I feel like there's a lot of space they could play with.
Yeah.
But there is a designated B stage at Hershey, so they'll be there anyway.
Yeah.
But that's cool.
Yeah, I'm interested to see like what that is in general.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. But the announcement was kind of cool. Apparently, the like video for that, it was like our first glimpse at the City Walls music video.
Possibly. Like, is that like a is there evidence to support that, or is that people just like new footage?
That's what a lot of people said. So
Okay.
I'm just
yeah.
It makes a little sense, but I could also see that being bullshit.
Yeah, it could, for the video. I mean, I'm sure it's the same thing that you're talking about, but to me that just kind of seemed like a promo shot. But
yeah. But that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of funny people like, people about the cheapest tickets to 21 Pilots to go see them live, and that's cool. Then they got drafted into being in the Bandito War. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all the news I have.
Yeah. I had one other thing, and that's that Marussia released another single for their upcoming album called Trenches, and it's pretty good. I like it quite a bit. I think I might need more listens to it because people seem to be like loving it, and I'm just like, yeah, it's cool. But I think it's one of those tracks that might grow more with me, like in an album context as well. But continuing to be very good. And I don't know. I have my 100 itching. I have it itching. But well, we will see.
I'm glad I haven't been listening to the singles because I was looking at it was in like the albums to pre-save kind of area on Spotify, and I saw that's like they've released most of the songs on the album.
Yeah, it's like half of it now. Yeah,
which I'm like, I don't like that.
But I'm not a big fan either. But when they're a small band like that, I feel like I don't know, I'm more forgiving for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. But
the big fans listen to the singles as they drop, and then like people will get into the album who might not know of them and listen to the whole thing as a whole. But that's cool. I'll listen to it when it drops. I'll see how I feel about it. But yes. But into the meat and potatoes of this episode. Every 5 episodes, most of the time we do a artist analysis where we spin a wheel and we pick and whatever the wheel lands on, whichever artist it selects for us, we listen to their entire discography. We give you our thoughts and opinions and our favorites and least favorites off the track list, and then give it a rating and talk about all the albums, and then we give our overall thoughts. But this week it was YouTube darling Quadeca, topical as Mike said last week.
Yes.
Yeah. So we got 5 albums here, and do you want to start? You want me to start? What do you want to do?
I could start.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we start off with Quadeca in 2019 with Voice Memos. I know he made music before that, but honestly I think it's okay that we started Voice Memos. I start off by saying now I see why people referred to him as a YouTube rapper for so long. This man really put 2 separate FouseyTube references on his album. It's not great. From the few early Quadeca tracks that I've heard, I was totally expecting him to be, a lyrical spiritual miracle on here, which he is. But what I was not expecting was for him to be an auto crooner on nearly every single track. A lot of autotune on this one. You can tell the likes of like Little Uzi Vert were really big at this time, and I cannot say I'm a huge fan of that vocal style, especially for Quadeca. At that time, young Quadeca had a pretty big lisp to him as well, which I don't think helped with the auto tune. But what I will say is that there are glimpses of like the genre blending creativity even this early on, like uh, 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 and a lack of fear when it comes to just like interesting switch ups at points. It could be because hindsight is 2020, but I really do think that there's interesting things present here that separate his production and songwriting from like others in this very specific lane. But you know, they are reserved to just glimpses, pretty much. It's rarely, it's not much for a whole track on here. Um, and I do like the playful sense of humor on here sometimes, and that's a big caveat. Some of the humor is funny, some of it is just like very corny, very cringe. um yeah, now would I listen to this project, I expect him to go on to make Vanisher in 6 years? Hell no. So I'm really excited to listen to all of his projects and see the journey unfold. But it's a rough start for sure. Also, it's a little crazy to me that his most streamed song is still which is a track on here. And it's like 7 times as big as anything off of his critically acclaimed records, which that's just wild to me. But he needs more modern day streams. But yeah, my favorites were Eyes, These Days, A Dream I Can't Remember, and The Man on My Left Shoulder. And my least favorites were Thank You Next, Imagination, War, Ego Death, and Rowboat. And overall, I gave it a strong 4.
Yeah. I said, voice memos 2019. I started off with, well, we all got to start somewhere, I suppose.
Yeah.
There's some extremely corny stuff on here, and I know he was 17 from what he said multiple times, and it was 2019. There are explanations, but listening to some of this pissed me off for some reason. It's not all bad, of course. Quad showed extreme talent for production, at least a lot of the time. His flow was pretty impressive across the project, and the slower, more introspective moments gave hints of what could be to come in the future. I don't think there's anything I would return to off this album, but there's sure as hell things that I will avoid like the plague. Quad did debut, just not in the strongest fashion.
Yeah.
Not great. My favorites were Ego Death, These Days, and The Man on My Left Shoulder. And my least favorites were Imagination, Thank You Next, War, Real Thing, Red Dot. And I gave it a decent 4. So
Yeah. And
not great.
just because neither of us mentioned it specifically, I think we do need to talk just to mention Imagination is Quadeca doing a interpolation of Pure Imagination from Willy Wonka,
Yeah.
and with heavy auto tune and terrible lyrics, and that song is PTSD inducing potentially.
Yeah, suffice it to say, I had to pause, peek, and put my head in my hands during that song.
Yeah, the second he started doing it, I was like, oh no.
Rough, dude, not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, I gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but the next album we move on to is From Me to You in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
I said, now this is a little bit more up my alley. The Quadeca that we know and love today is slowly but surely peeking his weird little head out and saying hello.
Mm-hmm.
The production across the record shines bright, and just shows a lot of growth in his technique across just a couple of years from the last record. The writing is also a hell of a lot better, which also makes the rapping more enjoyable throughout the album as well. There are still things I'm not huge on, as those kind of corny edgelord-esque moments show up from time to time, but that's thankfully not present for most of this record. Also, though, I enjoy. Also thought, what the fuck did I write? I enjoy the energy and content within the interludes. I just don't think that we needed 3 of them across the record.
Mm-hmm.
This was much better of a listen through with tracks that I will probably return to. So
No.
my favorites were Sisyphus, It's All a Game, Candles on Fire, Shades of Us, Maybe Another Day, and Can't You See? My least favorites were Smiling at the Ground, Alone Together, Work, and Where'd You Go? And I give it a light 7.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, from me to you. I said I think every listen of voice notes needs an obligatory listen to Sisyphus right afterwards.
Yeah.
That track at the start of this record is an absolutely insane jump in quality for a 2 year gap. I guess that's what 2020 and a heartbreak does to a guy. Uh,
Yeah.
anyways, I've listened to this record a few times before, and to quote my own review from it from late 2022, I said, From Me to You is really intriguing to me because it's a project where an artist has found his sound but hasn't quite figured out his voice yet. And 2022 Mike was cooking with that one. But it's true. This record somehow has moments that remind me of Vanisher and also moments that remind me of voice notes, which I think is an impressive little transition point. It's like an early prototype of his current sound, but mixed in with leftover bangers from his previous era. The production is so cinematic and detailed and glitchier than I remembered, but the bars and the vocals can be very inconsistent, as you were kind of talking about. But the good is honestly really good. Sisyphus is an obvious place to start. What an absolute opus of a track that is. I think he's topped this song multiple times now, but I think when accounting for the era that he was just coming out of, this may be his most impressive track to me. It's beautifully paced, extremely detailed, has multiple vibe switches and pretty good lyrics too. I love the particular refrain on this track of saying like you have a mountain of your own. I think that's just like a beautiful visual, like, and with like talking about
Yeah.
Sisyphus and shit like that, you know. But oh no, why am I typing? Uh, okay. There's also a few times on this project where his singing is like some of the best we've heard from him, like even to this day.
Mm.
And yeah, mostly that's like within like some of the beautifully atmospheric and ambient stuff. Speaking of which, I think the interludes are really great stuff and foreshadow a lot of how like Haunt You will sound. But for as much good as there is here, the track list unfortunately has a lot of weird, corny duds on it. Most of them. Most of them have pretty cool production still, except like "Where'd You Go?" I don't like the beat on that one. But otherwise, they just feel like a tonal shift and like they were written in a completely different headspace than the rest of the project. The inconsistency makes sense with how big of a quality jump it is from the last album to the next album, or from the last album to the next album. So like being the midpoint. Um, but it's still a little disappointing because some of the songs on here deserve a more fully realized project, I think. But even with some significant duds, this is a pretty strong record that people should listen to if they enjoy modern day Quadeca. My favorites are Sisyphus, Candles on Fire, Maybe Another Day, Can't You See, and Summit Part 2. And my least favorites were Where'd You Go, People Pleasers, Smiling at the Ground, Work, and Alone Together. And overall, I also gave it a light 7.
Nice.
Nice,
Very cool.
nice, nice. All
Yeah, that
right.
was a
Oh,
much needed after voice memos, I will say.
yeah, I don't know how you listen to them, but I did listen to voice memos and from me to you in one night, and like genuinely that was
Yeah.
like it like floored me. I was like, oh my god, that's like a crazy jump.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
listened to voice memos before work and then from me to you after work.
yeah.
One put me in a bad mood for work, the other made my day better after work.
There you
So,
go.
you know.
I think it's the best advertisement for me to you. um all right. Next we have I Didn't Mean to Haunt You from 2022. And here we are, the record that cemented Quadeca's maturation into a full blown artist. Only 1 year later, he returned with a deeply conceptual record that has its own unique production and sound. The album follows the story of a ghost who took his own life and is now mourning his loss of the living, including watching his family grieve and move on without him. According to Ben, he was, quote, in his suicidal era on this one. And while I think those themes are present throughout the project, I also think the deep regrets he holds about like the suicidal decision on the album, once he's a ghost, serve as like a really unique anti-suicide PSA. Yeah. Speaking on some lyrics, this record gets detailed. If you haven't already, listening to this project at least once with lyrics pulled up is absolutely worth it. It goes into some pretty dark yet genuinely well written areas. And the production on here is just so unique. Quadeca carves out a ghostly sound on here, bringing back some of the cinematic and glitchy production, but mixing it with instruments that are often like warped and like warbled, and pairing those alongside heavenly vocals, synth pads, what have you. It's a super unique combo, and I've always felt like it perfectly embodies a ghostly aesthetic. And the songs themselves, man, the songwriting on this project is just incredible. The three big epics of Tell Me a Joke, Born Yesterday, and Fantasy World are incredible centerpieces on the album, each with their own, like, really, really good climaxes. Born Yesterday, in particular, still makes me cry to this day. The way in which, like, the lyrics, vocals, and production swell during the last big section is up there with some of the best musical moments of the decade for me. Um, then there's also an absolute banger with Knots, being a legitimately experimental hip hop cut that surprisingly doesn't sound out of place at all. I absolutely love the grungy nature of that song, and the subtle bump in tempo in the second half always gets me so hyped. Um, and But for all this good, I still have some things I don't necessarily love on here. Every now and then, Quadeca's white boy tendencies pop out in some brief rap parts, with lines like "I hope you cancel my Hulu subscription," or something like that. They run the risk of watering down the whole project. They don't, but every now and then they show up, and it's like, ooh. But Yeah, another personal note is that I don't love the direction of the story takes that the story itself takes during house settling, which kind of implies that the ghost kills his mother through carbon monoxide poisoning. Um, Danny Brown rapping as carbon monoxide is sick as fuck, but I do feel like this level of psychological horror just comes a little bit out of nowhere. But the song
Yeah.
itself is still a banger track otherwise. And finally, I think Cassini's division wraps things up in an interesting way, but I don't think it was the most satisfying conclusion that this record could have had. But other than those, this record is really damn good and shines as a whole experience from front to back. One of my favorites of the decade thus far. And My favorites are Born Yesterday, Fantasy World, Knots, Tell Me a Joke, Fractions of Infinity, and Don't Mind Me. And my least favorites are Cassini's Division and Picking Up Hands. And overall, I give it a light 9.
Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to haunt you. 2022. When I first listened to this record, I was of the opinion that it was mid.
Mm-hmm.
I truly have no idea what I was on when I first listened to this record. This album only coming out a year after the last one is fucking baffling to me. The production again takes another step up. The songwriting is on another level entirely from what it's been thus far. It's a concept record, which I am an absolute sucker for, but it's so sad and dark, and that songwriting that I mentioned a second ago puts the work in to make this record even a more immersive, fucked up experience.
Mm-hmm.
I love this record more and more each time I listen to it. But the only gripe that I do have with it is that sometimes the vocals I feel like could have been brought forward more.
Mm-hmm.
At points, it feels like he's a little quiet for my liking. But could also just have been a production choice, which totally fair.
Yeah.
This whole record is like super strong. Like there's the run of Fantasy World into the last three songs. Just Fantasy World, Fractions of Infinity, Cassini's Division. I really like that run.
Mm-hmm.
Born Yesterday also makes me cry when I listen to it. I was getting misty
Yeah.
listening to this record. Tell Me a Joke. I wasn't a big fan of. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of the record the first time I listened to it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't a big fan of this song in particular. I just
Really?
didn't get it. Um, but it has significantly grown on me.
Yeah.
Uh, the only song that I still don't have liked on the album, but it did grow on me on this listen through is Knots.
Oh, really?
Um,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it just doesn't. It didn't hit for me, and it's still like there's parts of it that I'm like, eh. Um, I do think it is better than I gave it credit for. But it's just the only song on there that I'm kind of iffy on.
That's fair.
Though Cassini's Division, I do agree that the kind of like the end into the distortion, I was like, it's interesting, but I feel like they could have done a better little bow on the top
Mm-hmm.
as well. But it's a fantastic album that ushered us into the peak era of Quadeca that we are still into today.
Yes.
But my favorites are Born Yesterday, Fantasy World, Tell Me a Joke, House Settling, Cassini's Division, and Fractions of Infinity. And my least favorite is Knots. And I also gave it a light 9.
Cool. Yeah, slightly offended just because I love knots, but I understand.
Yeah. Like I said, it grew on me this time around. So,
yeah.
And I'm sure it could grow again in the future. But yeah. And up next, we got one that's like not technically an album, it's a mixtape, but we included it. It's worth it.
Yeah.
It's Scrapyard, which came out last year, 2024. I haven't really revisited this record since the first time I listened to it, and unfortunately, I feel as if my opinion hasn't really changed from my first listen through. Everyone really loves this record. Fantano gave it a 9. You really love it, from what I remember. But it just makes me feel like I may be missing something. It did grow on me a little bit this time around, but there's still things that I'm not huge on. But there are the aspects that I do love. It's just that there's moments on this record that like feel reminiscent of a project that was still yet to come at this point, like with the songwriting and the lyrics and the singing and stuff on it. I just think that with this having been released across multiple EPs, that it kind of loses that cohesiveness that I appreciate in an album experience. And I know that that kind of it's like, oh, it's collaged together. It plays into the Scrapyard name of everything, and that's completely cool. It's just a personal problem on my end, where I'm like, it's an album. I kind of want it to feel kind of cohesive. Like I said, I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I dislike this album at all. I think Scrapyard is really great. I just feel like it doesn't. It's not as great when it's sandwiched between these two fantastic records that is between, in my opinion. Still like it though. There's a lot of stuff on there I do like, and some of them that I do are easier. Texas Blue, A La Carte, which grew on me a lot. What's It to 'Em, Pretty Privilege, and You Tried the Thing Where You Are Human. And my least favorites were Even If I Tried, Being Yourself, and You Don't Know Me Like That. And I gave it a decent 8.
Cool. All right. Yes, Scrapyard 2024. Quadeca may be the baddest bitch west of the Mississippi, but we all know who the baddest bitch east of the Mississippi is. Shout out to our boy John. But yeah, Scrapyard is seen by Ben as a midpoint mixtape between his major projects, kind of like you were talking about. And goddamn, it honestly stands just as tall as the other recent outputs for me. It may not be as conceptual, but there's a consistent vibe to this project that consists of experimental production, noise music influence, a bit of hyperpop in there too, and just really beautiful melodies for me. Quad's in his poppy bag here, with many of these tracks having pretty standard song structures, but honestly, it makes for one of the easiest listens in his discography thus far, which I think is kind of nice for when you're in that mood. The flow of the project, I think the flow of the project is really great. It feels far more structured to me than other mixtapes I've listened to. I love how varied each track is as well, going from bangers to softer ballads, and sometimes even both. He gets a little weirder in the creative choices towards the end of the record, but it all just kind of works for me, and it helps that I think the songs are just good as fuck. I adore how catchy and dreamy how catchy and dreamy some of these tracks are, like Way Too Many Friends, Dust Cutter, or Easier. Those are all really big highlights for me. I love the weirder cuts too, like You Tried That Thing or Guess Who, which may just be the best straight up banger he's ever done. There's a point during the second verse of Guess Who where he just starts popping off and it sounds so good. Um, and of course, there's the beautiful closer of Texas Blue, which in hindsight feels a lot like the stuff on Vanisher. Um, uh, but yeah, it's Texas Blue is in contention for his best song for me. It just has such an undeniable quality, from the catchy melodies and the lush and dynamic instrumental to the vocal performances. It's damn near a perfect song for me, if not just a perfect song. But overall, the project tries out a lot of different sounds and styles. And while there are a few moments that I feel are a little redundant on the project, I still think every song here is great within its own context and has something worthwhile to bring to the table. My favorites are Texas Blue, Easier, Way Too Many Friends, Dust Cutter, Guide Dog, Guess Who, and You Tried That Thing Where You're Human. And my least favorites are Even If I Tried, What's It to 'Em, and Being Yourself. And overall, I gave it a light 9.
Nice.
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 Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think it might grow on me if I give it more listens through, but I don't know.
it's
I don't know.
also one that helps, at least for me, a lot of the way I see it, because the album came out in February. It's a very wintry type album to me.
Okay.
And also being heartbroken, I think, helps with a lot of it too.
Yeah,
Because
probably.
I
Yeah.
was going through some shit at the beginning of 2024, and that this was kind of my soundtrack for that.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
um, uh, yeah, some of that context I think helps it, but that's also me being biased. But yeah, cool.
Yeah.
We move on to this year, like a month ago, not even a month ago, I don't think. We get Vanisher Horizon Scraper 2025. And I start off with, woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. um, Vanisher sees Quadeca improving on nearly all fronts, which is a pretty crazy thing to say about an artist I just gave two separate nines to. But it's true. The production is fuller, the instrumentation is vast and lush. The vocals are genuinely incredible at points, and the overall album experience is like endlessly satisfying and replayable to me. After watching a good chunk of his production breakdown on this record, I truly believe this is one of those albums that you're just going to notice something new every single time. These songs are detailed, but they're also just good tracks to begin with, which is important. All of the melodies are unique and memorable, and every track on the record serves an important piece of the musical journey, which is even more impressive when the record spans a total of 69 minutes. Nice.
Nice.
It's it's genuinely such a fantastic project, and it is on pace to be my potential record of the year, depending on what Marusha and maybe 21 Pilots deliver. I unfortunately do have a few minor issues with the record that hold me back from giving it a perfect score. The biggest one for me is probably the concept. I think the setting and imagery is super fun and adventurous, but I do wish the story itself felt a little more cohesive, like it does in Haunt You. Each of the individual parts are sick as hell and creatively thought out, such as like the inclusion of the Bakunawa sea serpent from Filipino legend. But I do think the individual parts fail to form an interesting overarching narrative to me. There's
Mhm.
not much of like an emotional core either, aside from like maybe Foregone. But to be honest, while I think that's a great song, it doesn't like emotionally pull me into the story at all. Um, but both of those points are just just a bit disappointing since the story on Haunt was so detailed and impactful. But here it's just a little bit harder to follow. But the musical journey it takes you on is like unmatched. It's hard to believe that a record that starts with tracks like Ruin My Life and Monday will end up closing on the darkness of Casper, which is pretty much just a straight up Maruja track. But the gradual darkening of the sounds to the end works super well and ties into the themes of obsession in a very explosive way. And goddamn, those water effects towards the end have to be mentioned specifically. That's like,
Ah,
that's
so good. So good.
yeah.
Sorry. What?
I wasn't sure what you were doing over there. Yeah, that's likely going to be my favorite musical moment of 2025. I feel like I could write a legitimate essay on this album, but this is already long as it is, so I'm just going to wrap it up. It's fantastic, and I wouldn't be mad at all if this just ends up being his magnum opus. My favorites on here are Monday, Godstain, Ruin My Life, Casper, No Questions Asked, The Great Bakunawa, and Foregone. My least favorite is Thunder, maybe. I like Thunder, but like maybe just the pacing of it isn't. I don't know. But overall, I gave it a decent 9. It's very, 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 very good.
Nice. Yeah, Vanisher Horizon Scraper 2025, baby.
Yeah,
And I checked, it is a month old at this point.
let's
So,
go.
if you would have told me that the guy who made voice memos made this, I probably would have said, huh, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, interesting.
But for real, it is insane. Uh, Getting to experience the evolution of Quadeca through these albums, wild. Um, and also just across like fucking 6 years,
Mm,
insane. Uh, Vanisher is breathtaking from start to finish. Quad's vocals have never sounded better. The songwriting somehow just keeps reaching new peaks, and don't even get me started on the production. Just
mm.
absolutely stunning, gorgeous, sometimes even anxiety inducing. I've been listening to this record constantly since it dropped, and on every listen, it just keeps getting better and better. Um, I haven't even mentioned the visuals yet, but
Mm.
oh my god, dude, the visualizer for this record, amazing. He
Yeah.
found insane places that I feel like should be Photoshop or something, but they're real,
Yeah.
and it's insane. He went all over the fucking world and found like castles with
Mm.
a crazy windy river leading to it, a fucking
Yeah.
a lighthouse in the middle of the sea that's looking like it's standing on one leg,
Yeah.
about to fall over. Um, Fucking just wild, like an abandoned shipyard with like gross old boats and shit. Like
Or the
it's
sunken
wild.
house. Yeah.
Or yeah, that too. It's like who the fuck did where did he
I
find this shit?
don't. I have no idea.
Um, it's wild, but it's beautiful and it fits the vibe of the album and every song so well. The Casper visuals, in particular, are
Mm.
breathtaking to me. He's just like walking out into the middle of the ocean with the sun setting or rising, and it's and like the distortion that he puts over the video also fits the distortion of the music, and it's just
Yeah.
ooh, baby. Um, yeah, I love this record so much, and it just like it. While I do agree that the story doesn't really isn't like cohesive, really. I think as it on its own, without even thinking of the concept, it's pretty fucking amazing. It doesn't
Yeah.
even need it. Um, like I don't know, it's just like every song just keeps growing on me as I listen to it more and more. But this is yeah, I think this is definitely one of my favorites of the decade thus far, and also is probably definitely going to be my album of the year. So
Mm.
love this record. Go listen to it. So good.
Yes.
But my favorites are Ruin My Life, Monday, Casper, Godstained, Thunder, Foregone, Dancing Without Moving, The Great Bakunawa, and Natural Causes. I don't have any of these favorites, and baby, I give this a 10.
Damn. All right. Official 10.
Official 10, baby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I moved it up to that while listening to it this week, but it didn't
Yeah.
move much. It moved 1 point because I had it at
I
99.
do remember
So
seeing it at 99. Yeah. um. Yeah, I should mention as well, when I was making my best tracks for this, I was getting so sad at some of the stuff I was cutting from there.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm just gonna be listing the track list if I keep putting stuff down. So like
Yeah, I mean,
one that I like just cut was like Dancing Without Moving, and I'm like, the fact that I'm cutting this song from my favorites feels so wrong to me.
right.
Yeah,
So,
but
but yeah, I love this so much.
yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
fantastic. Um, yeah. What are your
yeah.
thoughts?
My overall thoughts.
Yeah. What are
I
your
talked
thoughts
about
on
it during
overalls?
Van.
Sorry.
My thoughts on overalls are all right.
All right.
I haven't worn them since I was probably like a baby, but you
Yeah.
know. But I talked about it during Vanisher, but getting to experience the evolution of Quadeca's music throughout this analysis has been genuinely so cool.
Mm.
This being someone who has experienced the same amount of lifetime as the both of us is crazy.
Yeah.
Because the way that he writes feels so like mature and timely that it doesn't make sense to me. Um, other like the writing feels so mature, and then like the production brings in these, you know, this like it's timely in a way that's like, oh, this is like what's big at the moment, but the lyrics just feel like, wow, he's writing about some like Foregone that was written by a 24-year-old. Yeah,
Mm.
right, okay. uh but I think with more time and more albums that are the quality or as quality as I Didn't Mean to Haunt You and Vanisher, Quadeca could be one of the goats. He's just so impressive and has in his discography is just like a steady incline to which I don't feel like I've experienced with very many other artists,
Yeah.
where it's just like every album is just, you know, it's a steady incline. Really cool. But there's some really fantastic stuff, and this was such a fun analysis. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I said, yeah, what a journey that Quadeca has been on. I only became slightly familiar with the dude when Sisyphus started making waves for the music nerds, but even
Mhm.
I feel proud of his progression as an artist. He went from making pretty standard YouTube rapper cuts to making legitimately experimental and cutting edge tracks in the span of 2 years. And the entire ground we've covered in this episode was only a span of 6 years. It's insane how much he locked into this music shit and how well he has carved out his own sound within there. The dude is only like a year older than us, like you were saying. So I'm pretty confident in saying that we still have a lot to hear from him. He has set an extremely high bar for himself, but honestly, he just has me on board for whatever direction he wants to go next. Which reminds me, I didn't even go into how great the visuals have been with his work. You mentioned them a little bit, but every studio record of his since From Me to You has had a visual movie accompanying the music, and each one has been even better than the last. So not only does the dude have an insane musical ear, but his visual direction and location scouting skills are impeccable. They really do go hand in hand, and I'd highly recommend anyone who has just heard Vanisher to go and watch it too, because it's
Yeah.
honestly an incredible companion piece. Haunt You is worth the watch as well, and I haven't seen From Me to You. Maybe one day. But so yeah, I think Quadeca, aka the guy who dissed KSI and made a song with Dax, he may be one of my favorite artists. um,
Yeah.
he's definitely my favorite Nepo baby. I don't hold him against that. Um, I'm not sure if you know about that, but
Yeah,
he is a bit of a Nepo baby, but I think not in terms of like his musical ability. So I think that's what
yeah.
matters. He just I think his dad like works at like a big gaming company or something like that. It's like a CEO or something. But so it explains maybe where like he gets the buddy to do these features, like the crazy
Yeah.
features. But I think he has carved out his own musical path in a successful enough way that like I don't care. But yeah, my ranking of the records, which I'm guessing is probably yours as well, is Vanisher, Horizon Scraper, I Didn't Mean to Haunt You, Scrapyard, From Me to You, and Voice Memos. Yeah, do we? Overall, I gave
Yeah,
him
you can.
overall I gave him a strong 8. Yeah.
Yeah. My album ranking is the same: Vanisher, Rise of Scraper, I Didn't Mean to Haunt You, Scrapyard, From Me to You, and Voice Memos. And I gave him a strong 8 as well.
Damn. All right.
We're pretty consistent across this
Yeah,
whole
pretty much.
discography.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, he was very much teetering on the nines for me, but I'm like, well,
yeah.
when a fifth of your discography is a record that I gave a 4, I don't think I can give you a 9 yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But hell yeah, sick. Um,
Yeah. All right.
cool. Well, yeah, we can jump into song of the week so Colin can get to his concert.
Yeah.
You are up first, sir.
I am up first, and damn, I was looking at the songs that we already have from Quad in the.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of good ones that I wish I could have picked, but
Hmm.
I just can't get away from Vanisher, so
That's
I'm gonna
fine.
pick. I think I'm gonna go with Godstained.
All right.
All right, that was Godstained by Quadeca. What do you think, Mike?
Absolute banger. When that came out as the lead single, I wasn't like I did enjoy the song, but it's absolutely grown on me in the context of the project. In fact, I think it's there was some. I sound so fucking terminally online when I say this, but there was a Reddit post in r/Quadeca where they
Oh,
were like, there's like a trend that a lot of music subs do, where it's like, what's the most vessel sounding song on Trench or something like that, right? And
hmm.
then they were doing that for Quadeca, and it was like, what's the most Vanisher sounding song on Vanisher? And I thought to myself, and I was like, I do think it is Godstained. Like, there's just something about this track that just embodies how adventurous the whole record is. And it's a song that I think is absolutely great. I love the flutes on there. I absolutely love the drums and the bass as well. Like it's like this. I don't even really know how to describe it. It's like it just feels so warm and pleasant. And I think the chorus is incredible on it too. It just hits the ears perfectly. I love it. Um, yeah. What do you
Yeah,
think about it?
I love it. I much like you when it first dropped. I wasn't like the biggest fan of it. I especially remember like I really loved the first half, and then I got into the rap verse, and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, it just didn't really hit for me. But when the album came out, it started to hit. Baby, I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, that shit, yeah, that was wow. And it still hits, and I love it, and it's great.
Hmm.
Um, and I love all the production choices. I love the drums, like you were saying, as well. And that chorus is a banger.
Hmm.
Uh, just I would kind of agree with that with Godstain being the most Vanisher sounding Vanisher song.
Hmm.
Um, but it's great and I love it. But what are you thinking?
Well, I figured I should take this opportunity to right a wrong that has
Oh,
occurred during the artist
uh,
analysis, or not artist analysis, the song of the week segment that we've been doing for so long. Because when this song initially dropped, I did have it as song of the week, but I had it with the caveat because this is the same week that Bo Burnham's Inside came out, which
true.
sounds so terrible in a sentence. The Bo Burnham comedy special Inside came out. um, um, and I said to myself, I was like, I'm gonna choose this song now, but if these songs ever get released, the Bo Burnham tracks, I will choose That Funny Feeling, which I did, and low key, I think I still think I would make that decision today.
Yeah.
That Funny Feeling.
I don't think that is a wrong choice. I
Oh
think that
no,
the choice you made is correct.
I
But
yes, but it's the only time in artist analysis history, what God damn it, in song of the week history, where a song has been retroactively removed and replaced with something else. So I feel like I just need to like set the tides back in motion in honor of Vanisher, and so I'm going to go with Sisyphus by Quadeca. When I'm back on a climb, you're only with me in the back of my mind now. All right, that was Sisyphus by Quadeca. What'd you think of that, Colin?
That's a great fucking song. I love that. I remember it vaguely from when you had it, before rudely getting rid of it for Bo Burnham. Uh,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna be
Oh,
okay.
oh, he's
Yeah,
back.
but it's just a
That's gonna sound so weird to the audio listener.
For context, my internet went out and came back, so I'm back on my microphone,
Yeah.
not on the phone. So, but yeah, Sisyphus is really great. I love the chorus on that song. His singing is really good, and like I said, it's crazy that he went from voice memos to this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love that song. Really good pick.
Yeah, yeah, that to me really is like an opus of a track. Like it goes through so many phases. Like it feels orchestral in a way, even though it's like
Yeah.
so electronic and glitchy and all that. Like just the formatting of it and the way it's paced, it feels like it's a piece or something. And it's really cool. And yeah, like I said, I think he has topped this track multiple times. Like I think there are some
Mhm.
aspects of it holding it back. Like he has a little bit of a lyrical spiritual miracle on it, a little bit. And like it is a little maybe a little too emo in some of the lines at some points. But like it just I don't know. I think the imagery of the whole track, with the mountains, and you have a mountain of your own, and like a whole bunch of shit all throughout there. I think it's just laced with a whole bunch of good stuff. And yeah, I absolutely I love the chorus on it as well. That shit gets me hyped every single time that comes in. It's a fantastic track, and one that deserves to be in this goddamn playlist.
You're
So
damn right, brother.
yeah. So now it's
Proud of
there.
you for making that right.
Yeah. All has been set right with the world. Sisyphus is back in the playlist, baby. All right.
Yes, back and he's tortured by rolling this fucking mountain, this boulder up this mountain again.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of apt that, a song with Sisyphus. Anyways,
Works too well.
yeah, a little bit. But anyways, I think we are all good here unless you got anything else you want to add before we skedaddle.
Didn't mention it before, but it's also Max's birthday. Happy
Oh,
birthday, Max.
yeah. My Chemical Romance concert was more important, but happy birthday to
No,
Max.
happy birthday, Max.
um,
But
I'm glad you
yeah,
mentioned that. That was
otherwise,
important to bring
yes.
up. But yeah, and that wasn't. I realized when I said that out loud, it sounded sarcastic, and it wasn't sarcastic. Just to be clear. But yeah. Uh, Cool. Well, if you're listening on audio streaming services, thank you very much. We love you to death. But you can come on over to YouTube where we are under the same name, BrokeN Boys, capital N Bois, and you can see our beautiful profile pictures. For me, I've got my EP cover along with little frame of Bing Bong frame. Um, looks great with the green of my EP. And then Colin's got his two favorite boys next to me and John. But
Of course.
of
And
course,
Vince.
and Vince.
Hey man,
Yes, yeah,
don't neglect Vince because he's married.
yeah, yeah. That's true. No.
And in Greece seeing really cool shit while we're
Oh
here
yeah,
in
yeah. No,
Illinois.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't really our week to talk about, but yeah, it's a really he's doing his honeymoon right now, and he's in a very picture perfect place, photo-esque place.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you can see Colin's two favorite boys away from his three favorite boys. Uh,
Yeah.
in his profile picture. Anyways, yeah, you can see those, but you can also on YouTube you can see links to a whole bunch of stuff. One of them being the Song of the Week playlists that we've hyped up so much throughout this episode. Towards the end there, at least I did. And you can see in those playlists. Well, there's three of them to start with. There's one for me, and there's one for Colin, and one for both of us combined. And in those playlists, you can find Sisyphus by Quadeca, as well as Godstained by Quadeca, as well as a whole bunch of other Quadeca songs, because we've been choosing. I mean, this podcast has seen his entire like growth as an artist pretty much.
Yeah,
So
pretty much.
you can see us listening to Haunt You for the first time, Scrapyard cuts, and then Vanisher cuts in there as well. It's a pretty cool thing, I would say. So you
We're
can go.
basically live mine.
But yeah.
So
Quadeca is coming on Broken Boys next. um, our relationship with wanting to get Brad on this podcast has ended, and now we want Ben.
come on, Ben.
Come on, Ben. But
Riley and Graydon if they want, but Ben, you're more than welcome.
yes, yeah. But yeah. Also in the description, we got links to some personal stuff. For me, like I was just mentioning, I make music under the name of Plaintive. Ugh, I just had to burp a little bit. It was great. But make the music under the name of Plaintive. You can go check it out. I released an EP earlier this year called Cyclicism. Go stream it, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you want to stream it on. It is there.
Yes.
I also have my album of the year page linked below, as well. That's where I rate and review music, as well as my Instagram and my YouTube and TikTok, and that's close enough for as much as I need. Um, and my relation to you, dear viewer, in honor of Sisyphus and the mountainous imagery of that track that we just listened to, I'm on the top of the mountain, uh, just continuously watching Sisyphus trying to roll up that boulder. I'm just kind of
Mm.
staring. I'm just kind of staring down at him and watching and waiting for him to get to the top. And I'm also behind you, dear viewer. um, and Colin can unravel that. And Colin over
Yep.
here, he's got he runs our socials. He runs our Twitter page where he updates when videos are posted, as well as anything else that needs to be updated. He also runs our TikTok and our Instagram page where he posts funny little clips of us making jokes, cracking whatever. My
Yeah.
Exactly. And you should go check out those links and support those. But he also has some personal stuff as well. He's got an album of the year page where he rates and reviews music, as well as a letterbox where he rates and reviews movies. You can go probably check out a weapons review, I would
Yes.
imagine.
Yes.
Yes. So go do that. And Colin,
Also
what
been I've
Colin?
been
Oh, sorry.
consistently sorry. I've been consistently updating album of the year this week, so you can see my
Ooh,
reviews for
nice.
all of Quadeca and Deftones and Sabrina Carpenter and all these things. So
Bro's locking
go check
back
those
in.
out too. I am. I
Yeah.
am.
Um. But yeah, what's your relation to our dear viewer, Colin?
Well, I this week am Sisyphus himself,
Oh shit.
and as Mike is behind the viewer, as the viewer is facing me, and that's who I am bringing up the mountain. Not a boulder this time, but
Mm-hmm.
he's this viewer is my rock, and
Mm.
I'm bringing them back up the mountain to meet with their other favorite co-host. And
It's beautiful.
as we're making it up, we're getting there, but it's getting real tough for me. I'm getting real tired. This mountain is steep as fuck, and Mike, you're kind of enjoying the show before, but now you're kind of starting to feel bad, and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
well, that's one of our viewers, and that's my co-host and best friend. So I think I should go down there and meet them halfway.
Yeah.
So you're gonna make your way down the mountain. Might trip a little bit, roll down some of it, but you'll regain your composure.
Become a
And
boulder myself.
yes, you'll regain your composure as you get to halfway down the mountain to meet with us. And once you do, you're going to take away my burden of trying to make it up this mountain and
Mm-hmm.
make it all worth it with a embrace with the both of us plus our viewer, with the viewer in the middle, you behind them and me in front of them,
Mm-hmm.
and me with my sweaty face and and very red as well. Yours is red too, but from blood from falling down the mountain.
Exactly. Yeah.
But we're still gonna look at each other lovingly and kiss each other right on the lips,
Of course.
right next to our dear viewer's head. And this embrace is what we like to call the love cage. And if you would like your very own love cage, all you must do, dear viewer, is drop your address in the comments below. We will find you. We won't know when, you won't know where, but we will find you, and you will get your very own love cage. So drop that addy,
Damn straight.
please. Yes.
And yeah, that
Yeah.
that was just beautiful. I don't have
Thank
any
you.
extra comments on that. So,
Hey man, thanks.
yeah, it was perfect. And
Just like you.
wow, thank you. And and yeah, everyone wish Colin well at his concert. I mean, he's gonna be back for 2 days by the time you listen to this, but I wish you well for your concert. Hope you have a
Uh,
good time
yes.
getting your romance chemically altered.
Oh yes. Oh
Yes.
yeah. It's gonna be great.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk about that next week, and then we might be in person after we go to a little bit of a breach listening
Oh yeah,
party.
is that next weekend? Oh, that is next
Sure
weekend.
is.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Um,
yeah, we'll
yeah,
see you next
we'll
week.
see you next week. Love you guys.
Yeah.
Love Cage.
Love you, Cage.
Nick K. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.